Would you use a new cleansing brush for every client when cleansing prior to each lash service? This is a very amazing question. Oh, hang on, I need to grab something again. So, cleansing brushes, very, very, very important. And these are obviously my own brand, not trying to advertise, but they're the only ones that I have to show you. So what I do with every client, every new client gets one of those. I clean their lashes. This one goes back in here after I have rinsed it. And then I give that to them in their aftercare kit with a tiny little trial cleanser, a lash wand, and a business card. I think that's all. Yeah. So that's what they get given to take home. Now, when those clients come back for a refill, I will use a fresh brush, but I don't give that to them. Because I find if you give new brushes to them every single time, you say, hey, you want the brush, you want the brush, they start to feel like this is not as good a value. They think, oh, it's really cheap. You know, they are not expensive. They're under $1 most of the time, depending on the brand that you're buying. And, you know, you kind of, I feel like if I was to give them something free every single time, they would feel like it's not as high value. So what I do is I have some Ziploc bags. These are actually other brushes that I used in here, but most of my Ziploc bags, and I have this. And I put my client's name on them, and I will pop the brush in, yeah? I then, obviously I clean it, disinfect it with like my spray, disinfecting spray, and then I put it into my cupboard. I have only about 20 in there now because I have very, very little clients now because I mainly coach and teach. And I use this maybe for another 3 times, and then I chuck that out and use a fresh one. So that's what I do personally. You can obviously also use those tiny little, what are they called? Lip gloss ones if you want, but I don't find they cleanse as well because I literally want to go right into the lash line, and it's really good to kind of use those and get right into that. What do you use to cleanse your tweezers between clients? I always have a few different pairs of tweezers going. I never just stick to the one, yeah, because most of the time I also like to drop tweezers, so I always have a few on hand. And I put it into I'll have to show you again. So this is a Vira Clean. This is a hospital grade disinfectant here in Australia. Check with your country. You may have different ones. So I have a small dish. I don't have it out now because I haven't got any lash clients until tonight. And I will literally rinse them first under warm water. And then I will place them into the shallow dish that I have filled up with the Vira Clean, and I leave it in there maybe for 5 or 10 minutes or so, and then I rinse it again with water, and then I dry it on a paper towel. That's what I do. You can also wipe it with some alcohol wipes, but you know, after you've cleansed them in the Vira Clean too. So that's what I do. But there's heaps of different solutions in every country, so I'm not familiar with all of those, but I use Vira Clean over here. Yeah, well, lashes that are oily, or clients with oily lashes, I always tell them, look, I don't tell them, I ask them, do you find your skin to be more oily, combination, or dry? Most of the time, if you have an oily skin client, they will know their skin is oily. They will tell you, yeah, I find my skin rather oily. I go, okay, yep, no worries. So what I would do is definitely clean your lashes every single night. Big misconception is that if you don't clean your lashes at all, you don't touch them, they're going to last longer. It's actually the opposite, because you need to clean away those oils from your oily skin. If you feel throughout the day it's getting all shiny, you can even clean them during the day if you're not wearing makeup or whatever. Definitely clean them every night. On oily lash clients or oily skin clients, I will also prime most of the time. I don't just use saline solution when I clean, I will also prime. Do you change the sheets on your beauty bed with each client? Yes, I have dental bibs under their heads. I change with every single client, but I don't change the towels every single time. That'll be silly. I have a dental sheet under their feet and under the head on the lash pillow that I use with every single client. If you want a higher humidity, you need to have a humidifier. You can get really cheap ones from, I get them from the pharmacy here. They're like $50 each. The type that you have in your children's rooms when they have bronchitis or something and they start coughing all the time at night. I usually turn mine on, and I have two because I have a bigger beauty room. I turn both on about an hour before my first client comes in, if my humidity is under 30 or under 35. Also, the aircon will really drop down the humidity quickly, especially if you have cold aircon on, so try and limit that. However, if you have a room that is above 25 degrees Celsius, your glue will set too quickly. So I always recommend to, you know, have your humidity around 50 to 60, and depending on where you live, obviously, and what glue you use, I find it works best for me. And then have your temperature at maybe around 21 to 24 degrees Celsius. That's what I find works best in our climate here. Kylie says, what is your favorite adhesive for a wide range of environments? My climate is super dry in the winter and do use a humidifier. Okay, if you have really dry humidity, I know Loretta from Flawless by Loretta has an adhesive that is called Jet Set Sahara, something with Sahara, because of the dryness. I can't remember. If you know what it's called, post below. That's what I've heard is the best one to use for a drier climate, which I don't have here in Queensland, so I cannot tell you, because I literally just use Beautier glue at the moment, T-I-E-R, and it's called the Classic X, or there's also the Volume X adhesive. They're really good. And Sky is always good. Lady Black is okay too. But some countries you're not allowed to use them because of certain ingredients. Araya says, my humidity in New Zealand at the moment has been between 60 to 69. How can I bring this down? Air conditioning, cold air conditioning. If that doesn't work, use a dehumidifier. They aren't cheap, but you can pick some used ones up. Have a look on eBay, or have a look on Gumtree or Craigslist, or wherever you are from. You know, on those buy, swap, sell pages. A dehumidifier, again, turn it on a good hour before the client comes in, and use aircon. Aircon really helps. Again, how can I speed up a little but not compromise my quality? Practice. And the best environment. A really good setting glue, perfect tweezers that grab beautifully. I'm talking classic or volume, doesn't matter. Quality lashes that come off the strip easy. A great setup. Make sure everything is the one place. Make sure you have everything set up beforehand. Make sure you have all your lash trays out, ready to go and ready to change over if you need to, because you're running out. Make sure you move your client's head whatever direction you want to. Make sure you move around your client with your chair as you go, and practice. That's literally all I can say. Quality products and lots of practice and a good setup. You are very welcome. What about a good adhesive for high humidity? I'm located in Florida. I find Sky, and I don't know if you are allowed to use that one in Florida. I'm not sure. Better check. Sky, is it S+, the clear one? I think that works really good for high humidities. Also, Lady Black, I find works very good. Honestly, if I find a good adhesive, I literally just stick to it. I used to get sent so many different adhesives to try out, and because I don't lash very much anymore, I literally just stick to my 1 or 2 favorites. But I have some glue coming out myself. I've been testing for months and months and months, and it's been a painful journey. That's why I never wanted to sell adhesive, because I want to make sure it's always fresh when I send it out. So I will be getting some adhesive too, some in the near future, which will be more for high humidity, which I find much harder to find. It's very hard. And even if your humidity is high, if your temperature is also high, that's an issue. So try and have at least your temperature low if you can, even if it's humid. Yeah, because temperature has also a huge factor in the time that your adhesive sets. Yeah, so if it's cold and humid, it may not set quite as fast as it does when it's hot and humid. What do you do to prime, and do you mist or water scrub at the end of the service? So to prime, so I use my cleansing brushes with some lash cleanser. I've got my own brand coming out very soon. Lash, now I forgot the name. I will tell you when I remember. A lash cleanser, and I scrub them. Not scrub, but, you know, clean them properly. And then I will pat them dry with a paper towel after I have rinsed them with saline solution. That's what I do with every single client. Now, clients with particularly oily skin, and the way that you can tell if someone has oily skin is by looking at their pores on their forehead and their nose and around the T-zone. There. If it's quite large pores and it's a little bit shiny, you can tell the makeup is on, but it's starting to get some shine through, is usually an indication that it's probably good to prime. I use a primer, a green tea primer with 2 little lip gloss applicators, and I swipe every single lash, like literally on the very base. I don't clean the tips, there's no point, plus you're going to dehydrate the tips, and I only do that with primer, oily skin clients. And then I mist in between, especially if my humidity is low and if the client is particularly sensitive. I mist as well because it sets the glue. And I cleanse at the end of the service as well. Yes, absolutely. And again, I use tiny little bit of cleanser, mix it with a little bit of water or saline or sterilized water or distilled water, whatever you want to use. And then I just very gently go down. But I don't do that right after the service. I usually wait 2 to 3 minutes after I have applied my last lash. And then I will wash them, and that is because I don't want the sensitivity to build up. Yeah, so if you are brand new, not knowing that you can actually clean the lashes right after the service, forget about the old days where you told your clients you cannot wet your lashes for 24 or 48 hours. I have a blog on that explains exactly why and how you can clean it with a video on lashtribe.com.au/blog. And if that's not right, just go to lashtribe.com.au and click the section where it says blog. There is a blog just for that aftercare or post-treatment of the lash service. Now, I know there's a few more questions, but unfortunately I've run out of time and I've got to get ready. I'm so sorry. Thank you everybody for coming, and I will try and get onto the other questions maybe another day. If you are not following my live videos yet, make sure you do. I'm sure something little thing popped up to get a notification whenever I'm live. So please click that if you want to get notified when I come on live, so I can hopefully help you a little bit on your lash and business journey. Hope you got some value from this. Love you all, and I will see you very soon.